So last week, me and my girlfriend decided to get a 7-day trial on HBO to watch Crazy Rich Asians. And afterwards, we figured why not check something out while we have it for the 7 days. The next movie that she wanted to check out on HBO was a film called Can You Keep a Secret? And I am not making this video to talk about how good it is. Can You Keep a Secret follows the character Emma, who is going to Chicago to help her company promote a product called Panda Bites, and it doesn't go well, obviously. And on her way back from Chicago, she gets on a plane and meets the nicest airplane attendant I have ever seen, who is just like, "You've had a bad day. You can just go to first class. Whatever, it's cool. Nobody cares." So she has a first class ticket just randomly given to her. And then she meets a man by the name of Jack, who is her neighbor on this plane. And halfway through, she and all of the other plane attendants experience turbulence on their way. And she begins to freak because she hates flying in airplanes. And for some reason, she decides to tell this man, Jack beside her, every single thing that she has ever done in her life that she does not want anyone else to know about. She literally goes on a 30-minute info dump on this man of every single secret that she has ever had in her life. So after all this happens, plane lands and they both leave, planning to never see each other again. But no, obviously that wouldn't happen. What are you, stupid? So she goes back to her job and she is talking to everyone at the office, and oh no, the big boss man's coming in town today. Everybody get to your seats, everybody be on your best behavior. But who do you think that boss man is? Could it be? No? The famous Jack Harper? The guy who was sitting on the plane? Oh, who saw it coming? Surely you didn't, I didn't. Who could have seen it coming? It's a twist for the ages. But in all seriousness, she finds out that the man sitting beside her on the airplane is her actual boss, the man who owns this company. And he's come back recently because he was distraught that his partner, as in the person helping him run this business, recently died. So right away, he recognizes her, she recognizes him, and they talk to each other, saying that they don't want the other to tell anyone about their secrets. They both agreed to the terms, and it's awkward. This entire film's awkward. If you do not like sexual jokes, don't watch this film. If you are with your family, jump out the fucking window, because you're in for an awkward ass ride. I was physically uncomfortable for most of this movie because of how much stuff it talked about to do with sex. They, in some scenes, go highly into detail to make you extremely uncomfortable. There is a scene that expresses my exact feelings throughout this entire movie.
And then yeah, you find the clitoris.
Oh, but not
Not side to side.
not that.
Oh, I
That's
thought
like
it was
it's
fun.
bizarre, and then you miss.
I am this guy throughout this entire movie. But anyways, they both agree to the terms. He does not want anyone to know that he was in Chicago. She does not want him to tell anyone about her secrets. So afterwards, they become friends, and afterwards, Emma decides that she has had it with her boyfriend, and she just doesn't love him, and she's tired of it. She's tired of his bullshit. So they break up. And then, what do you know? Jack swoops on in. He's coming to get her. Who could have seen it? Story for the ages. So Emma and Jack begin to date and do other stuff and continue to make this movie even more awkward, until one day Jack Harper gets a live interview on TV, and the boss of the office is like, "Hey everyone, we're all going to go into this room and watch this interview together because apparently we have nothing better to do throughout our day." That doesn't seem like it's only made up to further the plot. So they all go into this room and watch the interview, and as they're watching, Jack begins to get a little flustered about some questions. And then the interviewer asks the question, well, who is your demographic? And this is a big part of this movie. Who is the demographic of this company? And he says the woman walking down the street. Obviously we understand this to be Emma. No one else understands that yet, but then he starts to go into more detail about this woman walking down the street. He kind of starts to accidentally tell everyone some of Emma's secrets. And I have to be honest, these are probably the driest secrets of the entire bunch that we were given in the beginning of the movie. The fact that she cries every time she hears a song by Coldplay, that's some fire shit. That's a life ruiner right there, goddamn. Honestly, the worst one was probably that she sleeps with a My Little Pony bed set or some shit like that. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's still just stupid. Because as he talks more and more about this, the people in the office start to realize, oh, this is Emma that he's talking about. And she just freaks out. She's like, my life is ruined. Oh no! How will I ever show my face again? And then something that's even stranger to me happens. Everyone starts to sing the Kingdom Come song by Coldplay as if they're like putting her down, and she runs out in tears and everyone's just still singing it like a bunch of assholes. After this happens, she talks to her roommates, which I haven't really talked about at all, but she talks to her roommates, and the first one is usually the level-headed roommate. She's usually pretty forward with everything and smart and knowledgeable on things. But then the second roommate comes in, and oh my god, this is the most hated character. It has to be the most hated character, because this woman is such a fucking idiot. She comes in there and it's like, you know what? You should get back on him. What's his secrets? Destroy his life. Destroy it. Because nobody should know that you sleep with a My Little Pony bed set. Destroy his life. Kill him. So she starts thinking about it, and she starts listening to the roommate and starts to try to think about something, and then she tells her roommates about the fact that he did not want anyone knowing that he went to Chicago. And the roommate's like, oh, I have a reporter friend that I know or I met somewhere. I'll get him and you can tell him all about it. So as time goes on, Jack tries to talk to Emma about it, but she doesn't really want to seem to listen to him. And she basically says to him, oh, you feel like your secrets are more important than mine? And he says, no, that's not how I feel. And then she freaks out and runs out. And this is where I realize I hate this fucking main character. Because she runs back to her friends, again, her roommates, and he says that his feelings are more important than mine. And now we, as the audience, know that she just straight up told a lie. She fucking straight up lied. And she is just starting something that does not even make sense. Why would you say that? That's an obvious lie. Am I supposed to like you now after witnessing you just falsely tell this to your roommates? Am I supposed to feel bad for you? Because at the moment, I'm just kind of pissed off. And I want to say that at the end of it all, the whole thing is dumb, because the way he did it, he was expressing his love for her essentially, but he was expressing it and she thought, oh my god, he's a dick. This guy's an asshole. He's telling everybody all my secrets. He's doing it, pouring out his confessional love to me, but he's an asshole because he accidentally said that I like Coldplay. And I cried to it. Oh my god. The whole driving plot in itself at this point is just pissing me off. And the main character is pissing me off. And then, later on, Jack pisses me off. Everyone pisses me off in this film. Because nobody really seems to understand anything. They end up going to a play for Emma's roommate. Emma goes to the play. Jack comes there and tries to talk to her and explain it to her one more time. They understand each other. They watch the play together. And then afterwards, of course, that dumbass roommate comes back with her reporter friend and tries to get Emma to talk about Jack. And Jack comes out and he's like, I should have known. I should have known you were gonna hurt me. This is why I don't trust people. And then he runs out. And at this point, we know why Jack didn't want that being told. It's a little confusing in itself, but I went along with it, sure, whatever. But then he gets pissed at her for also accidentally putting his secret out there in a different way, but still, you still did it. I don't understand why he's getting mad when he also accidentally did it. I mean, I know I said that it was a stupid plot, but he's getting mad for the same reason that she got mad at him. What? I don't know. And then he decides to walk away from her. Again, we are not sure what will happen in this true story of Romeo and Juliet capacity. Later on, he's going back to Chicago for the reason he was earlier giving us. And she appears on the plane while he's sitting in his seat. She sits down next to him, says, I don't have much time. I just want to express this to you. And at this point, I'm confused as to why she's even on the plane in the first place. I mean, I understand that she probably wanted to talk to him, but could it not have, why, do you have to buy a plane ticket to do that? Did you have to spend money on a plane ticket to and from Chicago to talk to him for a total of 30 seconds? You couldn't have just texted him, sent him an email, Facebook, Twitter, nothing, whatever. Okay. So she's talking to him, expressing her feelings to him, and then the lady who's sitting in her seat shows up and she has to move. So she moves to her seat, and later on, Jack walks down through the plane next to her and the guy she's sitting beside and says one of his secrets. He starts telling her his secrets. And at this point, this is where we meet my favorite character of the entire movie.
Nice.
Do you want to switch seats with me? It's first class.
Oh, hell yes. Hold these.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
What's...
He was the only person in this movie that made me genuinely laugh. No one else did that. At no point in time. Jack asks the man if he wants to take the plane ticket and swap seats. He says yes, and then he sits beside her and they begin to talk to each other, and they return to their previous relationship, and everything ends happily ever after. This film is not my favorite. I genuinely did not like this film, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna give this movie a D. This is my first D movie, and honestly, I don't regret that. I regret watching this movie. The main character of this movie plays in Percy Jackson, and I would have just 100% rather have watched Percy Jackson again than watching this movie, because I was nothing but angry at the end of this movie. I was not pleased at all. I even stated to my girlfriend halfway through this film that I hoped that they didn't get back together, because I was so pissed. I was so upset at this movie. So my main problem is the fact that it's just not good comedy. It's a lot of dry comedy, and a lot of it just doesn't land at all. And the acting is just weird to me. I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad, but it's just weird. And like I said, the jokes just don't land. The plot is god-awful. I do not think I should be watching a movie where I hate everybody most of the time, if not all the time. And I just think it's genuinely a lower movie on a list, because it's just not good. I hate to say it. I usually genuinely try to like movies, and I usually try to talk good about movies, but this one just wasn't it, Chief. It just wasn't, and that's all I can say about it. But as always, if you haven't seen it and you have heard all of my complaints about it and you still want to go watch it, then by all means, watch it. Talk to me about it. Whatever. But anyways, that's going to be all for this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic day as always, and I'll see you in the next video.